You know, I generally take a light-hearted approach to my reviews, mocking, pointing, and laughing at intersectional feminism and woke ideology, as should we all. I found ways of roasting and laughing at some of my favorite properties. It's not hard these days. I find it cathartic and stress relieving. But for some reason, I don't find this one funny. I don't feel like making light. I don't feel like jokes at this point. Now you'd think that I would be more upset at the ruination of my most favorite franchise, Star Wars. I can't tell you what those movies meant to me growing up. Even being able to afford a toy or a pack of trading cards from time to time meant the world to me. Heck, I even pirated the VHS rentals by hooking up a VCR to another VCR and making copies, until the day came when I could purchase my own. But no, as bad as that was, this feels different somehow. This feels more insidious. Evil, even.
You have not seen what I have seen.
We could chalk it up to greed, hubris, incompetence. They don't have enough talent or creativity to pull off such an overwhelming endeavor. All of these things are true, but that's not what's at the heart of it all. It's the lack of love and respect. Love for the lore, respect for the man. The absence of these two qualities has been on full display for over a year now. From the cancer-filled Tolkien Society to every crumb of promotional material that's been released thus far. They put forth damning evidence upon damning evidence, and then lie upon lie in a vain attempt to sway the masses from their ill intent. It didn't work. In fact, it did the opposite. It solidified our resolve. We coalesced into a fellowship of common cause and purpose to bring you failure and shame, if at all possible. With every made-up character, with every diversity hire, with every lore change and outright lie you put into just the first 2 episodes alone, you've driven Tolkien fans away from this cheap knockoff of a great man's work. You say this series will be the novel Tolkien never wrote. Maybe there's a reason why he never wrote this. Because it's beneath his standards. I don't believe he could have purposely dumbed down his creative abilities to produce such juvenile storytelling. This is nothing more than a vain attempt at forgery of another's great work by lesser men. I don't presume to know J.R.R. Tolkien and all that he was, but I do know this. He was a man who dedicated a great deal of his life to building a world and mythology for himself and his people. He was meticulous in his creation and took great care to preserve his accomplishment for future generations. He did not want his work spoiled and tarnished by fools and thieves. He loathed corporations and industry and feared for what they might do to his legendarium. For he was right to fear such things. For we are witnessing the fruition of his fears in real time. It's cheap, hollow, and devoid of any spirit or heart. It's cosplay for the mentally challenged. It's LARPing for the insane. It's community theater in the Betty Ford Center. Dialogue is poorly written, and more often poorly executed. Pacing and storylines are disjointed and hard to follow. Traveling by foot takes what seems like hours instead of weeks or even months. Actions taken by characters make no sense in the situation or moment, and the original characters have strayed from all resemblance of what Tolkien created. Woke ideological self-proclaimed Tolkien scholars were hired, and the one true scholar was shown the door for standing in the way of this abomination, as if he were being exiled by Grima Wormtongue himself.
You are banished forthwith from the kingdom of Rohan.
Fake superfan influencers were trotted out, wined and dined and paid to spew scripted cringe propaganda in a pitiful display of pure embarrassment. Even the grandson of Tolkien himself, wanting to get out from under his grandfather's shadow, took his 30 silver to help betray what his father and grandfather held so dear. Footage from the show was trickled out in dribs and drabs until the premiere date was within our grasp. Only then were we allowed to see more evidence of what we knew to be true. Then, inevitably, we were exposed to the final product like a small child at a gay pride parade. Confused, disgusted, and emotionally damaged all at once. And on the anniversary of Tolkien's death, no less. No, there is no respect. There is no love here. It's not just a vanity project for some, and a platform to spread social and political retardation for others. As a man of faith, I feel a great swell of sorrow for my brother, Mr. Tolkien. I can't help but feel that the works of godly inspiration are being perverted by devils and demons. Or maybe those behind the cameras and behind the desk just relate better to Sauron than the armies of Mordor. Regardless, evil has crept in, poisoning the well, which now produces foul and bitter waters, making sick all who drink.
Yet hope remains, while the company is true. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Go now and rest, for you are weary with sorrow and much toil.